Remember TV in 2002? CSI ruled the ratings, 24 was rewriting the rules, and every network wanted their next big drama hit. But for every breakout success, there were shows that fizzled out almost instantly. Some with huge budgets, some with big-name stars, and some with premises so strange you wonder how they got greenlit in the first place. In this video, we're digging up 10 forgotten dramas, action thrillers, and sci-fi misfires that aired in 2002 and were quickly erased from memory. Number 10, Robbery, Homicide Division. Robbery Homicide Division was CBS's attempt to bring gritty, prestige-style cop drama to primetime. And it had all the right ingredients. It starred Tom Sizemore as Detective Sam Cole, a brooding, rule-breaking cop stalking the streets of late-night Los Angeles.
Tomorrow you are worth half of today. You're a commodity, baby, and the value of your ass is declining. The taximeter running in reverse.
Michael Mann, hot off of Heat and Ali, served as executive producer. And the whole thing was shot with his signature digital cinematography, giving it a slick, almost movie-like aesthetic. But all that style just couldn't save it. Only 13 episodes were produced and just 10 aired before CBS pulled the plug. Critics praised the atmosphere and tone, but slammed the weak character development and sometimes nonsensical plots.
What happened? Caught astray. Didn't know he was shot.
Does now.
And it didn't help that Law & Order was dominating the ratings in the same time slot, and Robbery Homicide Division just couldn't compete. Then there was Tom Sizemore. Off camera, his well-documented personal issues became a real problem, and CBS reportedly lost patience. When your lead actor's facing drug charges mid-season, it tends to complicate things a bit. Despite flashes of brilliance and Mann's trademark flair, the show faded quickly into obscurity. It's a cult curiosity now, but back in 2002, Robbery Homicide Division was just another stylish misfire. Number 9, Fastlane. Fastlane was Fox's loud, glossy, neon-drenched attempt at capturing the MTV generation in primetime. Think Miami Vice for the Pimp My Ride era. The show followed two undercover cops, played by Peter Fasinelli and Bill Bellamy, working in a secretive task force called the Candy Store, where they used confiscated luxury goods to fight crime. Guns, Lamborghinis, and penthouses. It was basically law enforcement by way of Maxim magazine. It looked amazing, and it should have. Each episode reportedly cost around $2.6 million, which was outrageous for the time. Fox promoted the hell out of it too, especially leaning into the appeal of co-star Tiffany Thiessen, fresh off Beverly Hills 90210 and still riding that Saved by the Bell nostalgia wave. Critics were split. Some loved the flashy editing and hyper-stylized action, while others said it felt like a music video stretched over 42 minutes. Viewers tuned in at first, but the novelty wore off fast and ratings crashed. Only 22 episodes were produced, and Fastlane was canceled after just one season. Had all the polish and none of the staying power. Still, if you want a perfect time capsule of early 2000s success, then Fastlane is it. Number 8, Body and Soul. Body and Soul starred Peter Strauss as Dr. Benjamin Gideon, a respected physician who leaves a prestigious hospital to open a clinic that combines traditional medicine with holistic and alternative treatments. Think acupuncture, herbal remedies, and life coaching, wrapped in a soft-focus, moral lesson of the week kind of show. It was very much in line with the PAX Network's more wholesome, family-friendly brand.
What's this benefit for again?
Neurodegenerative diseases. Oh, here are your dailies.
But while the premise was sincere, it never found much of an audience. The show felt out of step with the rest of early 2000s TV, where audiences were gravitating towards grittier medical dramas, ER, or high-stakes storytelling like 24. 13 episodes were produced and they all aired, but the show quietly disappeared after its one and only season. Today it's barely remembered, even by fans of the network. Number 7, John Doe. John Doe opened with a hook that seemed tailor-made for 2002 TV. A naked man wakes up on an island near Seattle with no memory of who he is, but he somehow knows everything else. Every language, every historical fact, every obscure trivia answer, just not his own name.
Ask me a question.
Hey.
It's an experiment.
Okay. What's your name?
Not that one, something else.
Dominic Purcell, before his Prison Break fame, starred as the title character, and the show leaned hard into a post-X-Files Mystery of the Week formula, while teasing out a larger conspiracy arc about his identity. Fox pushed it heavily, and the premise definitely got people talking. The problem, it had no real plan. John Doe dangled endless questions, but offered almost no answers. Viewers started bailing once they realized the mystery box might be empty, or worse, that the writers were still figuring it out as they went. 21 episodes were produced, and the show was canceled after one season, ending on a massive cliffhanger that's never been resolved. To this day, no official explanation for John's origin was ever revealed. It's become one of those classic early 2000s what-if shows. Intriguing, stylish, but ultimately frustrating. And now it lives on in forums, Reddit threads, and YouTube comments from fans still hoping for closure. Over 2 decades later. Number 6, Haunted. Haunted was UPN's attempt to break into the supernatural drama game, a gritty, ghost-filled detective story starring Matthew Fox, 2 years before he found real success with Lost. He played Frank Taylor, a former cop turned private investigator, who, after a near-death experience, gains the ability to see and communicate with the dead. The premise was dark, stylish, and kinda cool. Frank used his ghostly encounters to help solve crimes and dig into his own tragic past, especially the disappearance of his own son. But despite its atmosphere and Fox's solid performance, the show just couldn't hold on. Only 11 episodes were produced, and UPN pulled the plug after airing just 7 of those. Critics said it took itself too seriously, and the pacing could drag. Viewers were probably expecting more action, less brooding. Still, Haunted has its fans, especially in retrospect, now that Matthew Fox has become a household name. It's one of those shows that feels like a dry run for something better, which in this case it kinda was. Number 5, Girls Club. Beal in the practice. Girls Club was David E. Kelley's attempt to launch a younger, edgier legal drama, this time focused on 3 female lawyers navigating life and law at a high-powered San Francisco firm. It starred Gretchen Mol, Kathleen Robertson, and Kyler Lee, years before Grey's Anatomy. The show leaned heavily into themes of sexism in the workplace, female friendship, and mid-2000s romantic drama.
And those power dicks are gonna have to start giving me trials.
Is that what you call us? Power dicks?
Oh, only the men.
Do I have a nickname, Miss Falls?
All with that signature Kelly quirk. Fox hyped it up big time, but here's the thing. It never had a chance. Critics were brutal. The dialogue was clunky, the tone was confused, and it lacked the sharp writing that made Ally McBeal a hit. One reviewer called it law firm cosplay for CW viewers.
Can I ask you something? How is it? What? Trial.
Only 6 episodes were produced, and Fox aired just 2 of those before pulling the plug, making it one of the shortest-lived dramas in network history. It vanished so quickly, most people didn't even realize it existed.
And if you're happy with yourself, that tells me something.
Today, Girls Club is a footnote in Kelly's career, and a prime example of how even a hitmaker can miss when the network, audience, and creative vision aren't in sync. Number 4, Presidio Med. Presidio Med was a medical drama set in a private clinic in San Francisco, trying to bring a more human, compassionate touch to the genre. Something between ER and Grey's Anatomy before Grey's Anatomy even existed. The show was executive produced by John Wells, best known for ER, and had a solid cast. But despite the pedigree, Presidio Med failed to find a pulse. Out of the 16 episodes produced, only 11 ever aired, before CBS decided to pull the plug. It just didn't connect with audiences. Critics found it too gentle, too soapy, and lacking the urgency of high-stakes drama that made other hospital shows pop at the time. In hindsight, Presidio Med was a little ahead of its time, especially with its focus on patient care and emotional storylines. But in 2002, TV audiences wanted fast-paced ER-style adrenaline, not quiet conversations and introspective. Number 3, First Monday. In 2002, CBS rolled the dice on a political legal drama set inside the highest court in the land, the U.S. Supreme Court. First Monday starred James Garner as a swing vote justice and Joe Mantegna as a newly appointed liberal judge, navigating high-stakes decisions and ideological battles in Washington, D.C.
He wanted to know if I was going to be cool or whack.
The show tried to blend weekly Case of the Week stories with behind-the-scenes court intrigue, giving viewers a fictional peek into how the Supreme Court really works, or at least how Hollywood thinks it does. Created by JAG's Donald P. Bellisario, First Monday was clearly aiming for gravitas. But despite a heavyweight cast and timely issues, the show just couldn't connect. Critics said it lacked the punch and drama of shows like The West Wing, and viewers didn't exactly flock to legal philosophy debates and robe-clad bickering.
What report was she looking for?
I doubt you have it, Julian.
Well, I'm not checking for me. Chief Justice wants to know.
CBS pulled the plug after just 13 episodes. It quietly disappeared, likely because Supreme Court justices don't make for the most thrilling protagonists, no matter how many walk and talks you squeeze in. Number 2, MDs. MDs was ABC's short-lived answer to ER and Scrubs.
I want this show to be completely different.
What are you calling it?
OR.
But with a rebellious twist. The show followed a pair of maverick doctors, played by William Fichtner and John Hanna, who constantly clashed with hospital administration in their quest to actually put patients first. Think House before House, but without the ratings, the critical praise, or Hugh Laurie. Set in a fictional hospital called Wisdom Memorial, MDs aim to explore the ethics of modern medicine, corporate interference in healthcare, and tension between idealism and bureaucracy. And while the premise had potential, the execution was chaotic, swinging wildly between drama and comedy without committing to either tone.
Oh, hey. Let me buy you breakfast.
Just took out my stomach.
Another time then.
13 episodes were produced, but only 8 made it to air before ABC pulled the plug. Behind the scenes, the show had a rough time. Multiple retoolings, title changes, and creative disagreements reportedly plagued production. Despite the talent involved and the always watchable Fichtner, MDs never found its rhythm or its audience. It's one of those shows that feels like it should have worked, but never quite got the right diagnosis. Number 1, Birds of Prey. Coming off the success of Smallville, the WB tried to expand its DC universe with Birds of Prey, a dark, stylized drama set in a future Gotham, where Batman has disappeared and crime is being fought by an unlikely trio. Oracle, who was formerly Batgirl, Huntress, the daughter of Batman and Catwoman, and a young psychic named Dinah.
Oh, come on, don't be scared, Dinah.
On paper, it sounds like a hit, and honestly, the show had lots of potential. It looked great and felt cinematic at times, but Birds of Prey flew into some major turbulence. 13 episodes were produced, but WB pulled the plug before the season even finished. Critics knocked it for stiff dialogue, clunky storytelling, and inconsistent tone.
That's why we brought him to you, Dr. Quinzel.
Oh, call me Harleen, Detective, please.
Harleen.
And while the pilot had great ratings, even setting a WB record at the time, audiences dropped off fast. The biggest issue, well, it tried to be Buffy, Smallville, and Batman all at once, and ended up being just a joke. Even hardcore DC fans were confused by the show's strange continuity choices. Still, this show has a bit of a cult following now, especially thanks to Dina Mayer's take on Oracle. But back in 2002, this bird never got off the ground. And there you have it, 10 shows from 2002 that came and went before most viewers even knew they existed. Some had promise, some had buzz, and a few were doomed from the moment they hit the air. But whether they were underpromoted, ahead of their time, or just plain bad, they all share the same fate: one season and out. If you enjoyed this deep dive into TV's forgotten past, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and tell us in the comments, which of these shows do you remember? And which one actually deserves a second chance?